The Money Show with Bruce Whitfield on 702.
Let's walk the talk
On 92.7 and 106 FM.
First question to you. What
to reach out to as many universities as possible, and so they invited me. So I was speaking and explaining what I do, what the present situation is with Corona, and about the future of the world, how we can create a world completely different from what we have right now.
won the 2006 Nobel Peace Prize, and that was seen as a huge vote of confidence in you, a huge vote of confidence in Grameen Bank, which you started on the basis of microloans. And the Nobel Prize Committee said, you can't have peace without breaking the cycle of poverty. We know in South Africa we have an enormous issue with the issue of poverty. Explain to me the thinking of Grameen Bank when you first started out.
Well, at that time, it was simply a question of reaching out to people who are destitute, because we are going through a famine in the country. People are dying of hunger, massive number of them. So I was trying to see if I can be helpful in any way, useful, not helpful, useful to them in some way. So this is why it worked, and gradually I get to know lots of people, lots of work and so on. Then I saw the problem of loan sharking, people lending tiny little money to people and then grab everything they got. And it's such a tragic thing that you have to watch it happening right in front of your own eyes. And people know each other in the village, but they extract things from each other. So I was trying to see how to protect the victims of the loan shark. So one of the things I came out with, why don't I lend the money myself? If I lend the money, the person doesn't have to go to loan shark. Then the problem is solved. And that idea I thought could work. So I started giving money out of my own pocket. I told them that if you need money, don't go to loan shark, come to me, it is easy. And in the beginning, they were hesitant, but gradually they got used to it. And they saw it so much easier, and they don't have to give up everything for loans. And that became very popular. Then I got into big battle with the banking system. I kept on criticizing the banking system. I said, the banking system is designed the wrong way. The basic principle of banking has become lending money to people who already have lots of money, and don't lend the money to people who don't have money. I said, this is a wrong way. You should be doing the other way. Lend money to people who don't have money, and then wait until we find somebody with money to get some more money. So this is how the whole thing began, and we call it Grameen Bank. We created a bank out of it, and gradually it grew, and the idea spread all around the world. And that became known as Grameen Bank, and the program became known as Microcurrent.
But microcredit specifically to women, because your own studies discovered that women were more inclined to invest in a micro enterprise that created income for families rather than men who had a completely different approach to the money that they borrowed.
Well, I started putting it this way. I said, look, when I looked at the bank, I saw this is not working for the people. So I created an alternative bank, another kind of bank. And how did they did it? And the idea was very simple. I said, when I tried to find the rule or the procedure how to do banking, I look at the conventional banks, how they do it. And once I learned how to do it, I just do the opposite. They go to men, I go to women. They go to city center, I go to village. They want to give loans to big people, I give loans to the poor people. They want collateral, I said, forget about collateral. In my system, there is no collateral. They want people to come to their office to do the business. I said, that's wrong. People should not go to the bank, bank should go to the people. So it's not only one part. Women is one part, but there are many other things. And then they make the bank, they create the banks to make money. I said, I create the bank to serve people. And that's the idea of social business came. I do the banking, I do the business, not to make money for myself, but to solve the problem of the people. That became as known as social business. So we created lots of other social businesses where you don't want to make money for yourself. You want to solve the problem in a business way. And the profit which is generated, surplus which is generated, is plowed back into the business rather than somebody taking it out for them. So I said there should be two kinds of business. A business to make money, profit maximization is the goal. This is what the world has known. I said this is a system, very narrow system. This is based on self-interest. You're a selfish person, you want to enrich yourself. I said, human beings are both selfish and selfless. It's combined into one. So you created the business only for one thing, selfish thing. I said, there's a self-interest, or there is also collective interest. And the economics doesn't look at the collective interest. I created a business for collective interest, where you don't want to make money, but you want to solve problems. So you can do both. And that's what we are doing. We create the business to solve problems and encourage young people to learn the both kind of business, not just one kind of business.
South Africa's major microlenders have become very big businesses in themselves. One of them has become the biggest retail bank in South Africa, starting out as a microlender, but it works on fundamentally different principles. We've got very strict regulation now on interest rates that could be charged, and in many cases, a lot of people have seen the microlenders in South Africa as not that much better than loan sharks. I would disagree, but there is plenty of room still, I would argue, in South Africa for a Grameen Bank. Why has it not, the model not taken up here, do you think?
Because still business is thought about the business to make money. So that's why what you describe about the microcredit, they got into the wrong way. Because we created microcredit to solve people's problem, not to make money for ourselves. Somebody took this idea and wanted to make business banking to make money for themselves, go to the loan sharking part, and departed from what we did. So still they call themselves microcredit. So I said, this is the wrong microcredit. This is not the idea of microcredit that I was promoting, that I was creating. We run microcredit program in the United States, and exactly the same principle that we have in Bangladesh and elsewhere. And we have now branches in 15 different cities in the United States with 25 branches. We have over 140,000 women borrowing money, 100% women, and with nearly 100% repayment. Tiny loans are starting from $500 and so on. And such an important thing to get that $500 because nobody gives them a penny. In the United States, to get into a bank, you have to really have some solid thing to get introduced to a bank and then be able to borrow from a bank. So I said, no, we don't need anything. You don't need any papers. You don't need any identity. And most of our borrowers are, they don't even have papers, their identity. Most of them are immigrants. So they are helpless people, but we give them loans. Annually, we give out over $500 million in loans, and it gets repaid 100%. So it's a wonderful thing.
I mean, that's your experience. Sorry, your experience is the experience is the repayment rates are remarkable because people know that if they default, they don't get the next loan, and so you have this almost virtuous circle happening of loan repayment and the loan, and ultimately small enterprises grow and they become self-sustaining over time.
Absolutely, they grow. Yeah, they see their own interest. If I pay back, then I get another loan, a bigger loan, and I can continue. I can pay back the loan, and another again. So I can move. I can grow up. I don't get stuck in the same position that I started out with.
From what you know of South Africa, why would it be important for us here to have a Grameen Bank?
To see that how many people are outside the banking system. Usually more than half the people are outside the banking system. I said, people are entrepreneurs, no matter where they are born, whether they're born in a destitution, whether they're born in the street, that all human beings naturally are entrepreneurs. But our financial system doesn't allow that to come out. I said, finance is the oxygen of entrepreneurship. If you bring that oxygen to people, suddenly people become alive and active. All the ideas start working. If you don't bring that, they'll feel dead. I don't have any idea because I never exercised my mind because there's no reason to. The moment you put the money on the table, my mind starts working. And I say, I want to do something. So all these women that you talk about in Grameen Bank or the United States or everywhere, including in South Africa, where we have been working in the past, creating microcredit programs, all these women who took loans, they're not looking for jobs. They become entrepreneurs. So they create their own business to help themselves to get out of the system, get out of the situation they are in. So this is a fantastic thing to happen. What we have done, now the second generation, children of these families who grew up in Grameen Bank and so on, they went to school, they have education, but they're sitting around having no jobs. I said, why didn't you work? I said, look, we don't have any work because we don't have any job. I said, why are you waiting for a job? Did your mother wait for a job? She took a loan and started business. Why didn't you do that? I said, no, we don't know how to do that. Your mother didn't know how to do it, but she did it. You see, the difference between you and your mother is a natural human being. She acted when she got the opportunity, she became an entrepreneur. You become an artificial human being because you went to school. School created you into an artificial human being. All you want, somebody has to offer you a job, then you go there and do the routine thing, follow orders from somebody else. That's very artificial. Human beings are creative beings. The moment you accept a job, you surrender all your creativity. So all you have to do is to create a financial system so that everybody can become an entrepreneur. When I'm an entrepreneur, finance is not a limitation. I can go as far as I want. That's the thing. So with South Africa is looking for the opportunity. First thing to do is to create a banking system to do that. What we do in Bangladesh, we create social business venture capital fund and ask the all unemployed young people, come up with a business idea, we'll invest in your business. No question asked. And we do it as a social business, meaning we don't want any share of your profit. Profit stays with you. All you have to do is just return the money that I gave you. That's all you have to do. And people love that. Now they're getting thousands and thousands of young people take money from this venture capital fund and start their own business instead of waiting in line for jobs, which is not coming anywhere.
And in a world that is becoming increasingly driven by technology, in a world where we're terrified of the future of artificial intelligence taking so many of the entry-level jobs that exist in society today, surely this level of enterprise is the only way to ensure some kind of social stability into the future, creating generations of micro-entrepreneurs, people who can grow over time their own businesses, their own livelihoods, their own families' livelihoods.
I'm glad you raised the question of artificial intelligence, which only promises that nobody will be on job anymore, because all the jobs will be taken over by them. Whichever job, whether it's an intellectual job, whether it's a physical job, whether it's an office job, all the jobs will be taken by artificial intelligence because machine can do better than the human being. So we all turn into garbage on this world because we have no role to play. Only thing probably is still available is to become entrepreneur. So start the practice of being entrepreneur right now so that you can survive, you can do your own thing, but forget about getting a job or somebody working for you.
Professor Mohammed Yunus, the founder of Grameen Bank, Nobel Prize winner. Thank you very much indeed for joining us on The Money Show.
The Money Show with Bruce Whitfield on 702.
Let's walk the talk
On 92.7 and 106 FM.